Petrified Forest National Park is perhaps best known for its Triassic period fossils, most of which originated as trees that fell over 200 million years ago. At the time, the region that is now northeastern Arizona was near the equator, a tropical wetland with abundant streams and rivers. During heavy rains, the waterways would flood, sweeping fallen logs onto the sandy floodplains. And when volcanic lava later destroyed the forest, the remains were embedded into sediment composed of volcanic ash, mud, and water. Trees transition to stone through the process of permineralization, a sort of fossilization in which the organic materials are replaced with minerals like quartz, making a cast of the original organism. Millions of years later, the petrified logs were revealed by erosion, providing a key attraction for folks enamored by the beauty and uniqueness of the petrified wood. Since the first explorers came through the area, travelers have long carried off pieces as keepsakes. But since the establishment of Petrified Forest as a unit of the National Park Service, it's been illegal to remove any specimens. Today, the theft of petrified wood from Petrified Forest National Park can result in a fine, but for some, perhaps much worse. I'm Jason Epperson, and in this episode of Parkography, the curse of the petrified forest.
More in a moment, but first, this episode is sponsored by Slinky Stove. Slinky Stove is the patented collapsible fire pit that stays intact when packed. It's perfect for RVs and car camping or in your own backyard. It sets up in seconds, providing you with smokeless airflow rings and a clean burning fire. No more dancing around campfire smoke. Inexpensive and packed with extras, the Slinky Stove offers a 3-level cooking system that gives you flexibility, whether it's morning coffee or evening campfire chili. And with contained ash, cleanup's quick, just the way it should be on public lands. Order yours now at slinkystove.com or click the link in the description.
A boom in tourism and commercial interest in the late 19th century caused the Arizona Territorial Legislature to petition the U.S. Congress for the establishment of Petrified Forest National Park as early as 1895. Well aware that their region was filled with what can only be described as an abundance of both geological and historical artifacts, it would be John Muir that played a key role in convincing President Roosevelt to set the land aside as a national monument, the second in the country in 1906. Today, the unit covers a remarkable 221,390 acres and officially became a national park in 1962. 50,000 acres are designated as the Petrified Forest National Wilderness Area. And while the landscape, often called a high desert, may attempt to convince visitors otherwise, hundreds of species of plants and animals can be found within its borders. It's the only national park site that contains a segment of the historic Route 66. It features artifacts from over 14,000 years of continuous human occupation, and of course, there's the petrified forest itself. The brilliant colors of the rock and the petrified wood come mainly from trace minerals. Pure quartz is white, manganese oxides form blue, purple, black, and brown, and iron oxides create hues of yellow through red to brown and black. Exposed here is one of the most continuous sections of Triassic Age rocks anywhere in the world. And since long before its designation as a park, chunks have been removed time and time again. But in the 1930s, when the Civilian Conservation Corps was busy at work within the then monument, building roads, trails, and park structures, and just as the painted desert section was officially added to the park, visitors began to describe a mysterious phenomenon. After taking pieces of petrified wood from the park, they were seemingly cursed with bad luck, a legend that continues today and has become solidified as part of the park's history. Regardless of when or from where in the park the piece was taken, the letters all share the same general theme. I took a rock and I'm returning it because it's the right thing to do. But some also include descriptions of the misfortune that has occurred in the time since. From divorce to being jailed, from medical conditions to car problems, unemployment to generally terrible lives and even death, the tales of tragedy and piles of confessions return to the park along with stolen pieces of petrified wood or rock. One visitor described a piece he'd pilfered from the park more than 10 years earlier. It was a great challenge sneaking it out of the park, he wrote. Since that time, though, nothing in my life has gone right. Another pleaded, my life has totally been destroyed since we've been back from vacation. Please put these back so my life can get back to normal. Let me start over again. Yet another reads, take these miserable rocks and put them back. They have caused pure havoc in my love life. Petrified Forest National Park is not exclusive to the problem of theft. Similar curses have permeated through the culture at other locations too, although it's often more of a scare tactic than anything else. Rumors of a curse on visitors stealing from the confines of Escalante Petrified Forest State Park are similar, and most stories of misfortune trace back to visitors pilfering lava rocks from Hawaii Volcanoes National Park in the 1940s. The rumors there are said to have started with a park ranger who, for an extra punch, linked the idea with Pele, the native goddess of fire who's said to have formed the Hawaiian Islands. No matter where the concept of a curse started or how often people snag a piece of nature to take home, one thing's for certain, they tend to regret it. Rangers at Petrified Forest once even featured an entire museum exhibit dedicated to the legend. The display, called Mystery of the Conscience Wood, included a piece of petrified wood that sat on a bench returned by a man who said he had stolen it 66 years prior. A 3-ring binder sat with some 1,200 pages of gilt-ridden letters, the oldest dating back to 1935. But as it turns out, by showcasing the letters at the Rainbow Forest Museum, rangers were perhaps hindering the goal of stopping theft by reinforcing the belief of the curse. When we were there, one former visitor noted, we read the letters of the many people who had returned wood to you with tales of bad luck, ruined marriages, as well as other stories of misfortune. At first, we did not believe the ramblings of such obviously superstitious persons. But upon a review of the life and lack of luck that our family members had these past 30 years, we have begun to wonder if possibly the legend could have some truth to it. A slew of other letters read similar stories of trying to seemingly break the curse or prove its falsehood by taking their own pieces of petrified wood from the park. Park rangers removed the exhibit, but the absence of conscience letters hasn't fully stopped the slew of new regrets arriving along with stolen pieces, many pleading with rangers to return the fragments to their rightful place. Unfortunately, once the rocks are removed, they can't be returned to the park, which is a thriving site for archaeological, geological, and paleontological research. To do so would spoil the sites of further studies, and instead, mailed fragments become part of what is referred to as the conscience pile. At the southern entrance to the park and near a private service road that visitors don't have access to, park staff dump stones sent back to Petrified Forest. They end up in a sort of purgatory. The rocks, some of which were obviously polished and purchased from local curio shops, perhaps by family members looking to bring home a unique gift for loved ones, cannot return to the park. Ripped from their original home and unable to retire back to it, the pile grows larger each year. Rangers have, in addition to removing the museum display, changed tactics on how to best prevent pieces from being stolen in the first place, working away from the idea that the practice was commonplace or expected. Fences and intense warning signs and a threat of a $325 fine on flyers given out at the park entrance have all been replaced with a simple verbal warning about poaching specimens. Their efforts have decreased the volume of theft each year, but it does continue to be a problem, not just at Petrified Forest, but at other units as well. And if you've heard that Petrified Forest National Park isn't worth visiting because all the petrified wood has been stolen, don't listen. Decades of photographic evidence show that most of the petrified wood formations in the park are exactly as they were when the park was formed. Petrified Forest National Park is located in northeastern Arizona, about 50 miles from the New Mexico border on Interstate 40, and there are 2 entrances into the park, a westbound and an eastbound. You can actually drive right through it on your trip down Route 66. It's open year-round except for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and park road hours as well as visitor center hours are typically from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It should be noted that Arizona does not observe daylight savings time, remaining on Mountain Standard Time year-round. There's no RV, car, or front country camping available in the park, but backpacking and hiking into designated areas for the night is allowed, and a wilderness permit can be obtained at either visitor center on the day you want to backpack. A variety of front country trails, some of which are paved, showcase the incredible beauty of the park and offer encounters with plants, animals, and ancestral ruins. Visitors looking to take home a piece of petrified wood, no curse involved, can purchase legally collected wood from private land in the gift shop or at other local stores. They're generally inexpensive and may just prevent years of misfortune, or at least a lifetime spent with a guilty conscience. Thanks so much for being here. If you like what we do, please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.